win over Arizona. Your Braves are looking to ride that wave of momentum into tonight's game against the Mets. Hello, everybody. Your man JJ here at Turner Field for 3 nights of great Braves action right here on Peachtree TV. On the mound tonight, Derek Lowe bringing the heat. It's Braves, Mets, right here on Peachtree TV. The Braves play here, baby. Yeah!
Braves play here. Well, Peachtree TV, crank the games and make it cheer. Braves play here.
Well, the Atlanta Braves have won. Well, the Atlanta Braves have won 5 of their last 6 games, and it's just a beautiful night for baseball tonight as the fans are filing into Turner Field, where the Atlanta Braves will take on the New York Mets. It's a brief 2-game series. Tonight, Game 1, right here on Peachtree TV. Good evening, everybody. Joe Simpson here with John Smoltz. And, John, during the course of a long baseball season, there's always a series of adjustments, but one guy who's been making some adjustments and some good ones lately has been Bobby Cox.
He has, and when you go to spring training, that's their job as a coaching staff, figure out what kind of lineup you're going to put out there, and you hope to pencil it in every single game. Well, we've seen 27 different lineups out of 37 games, and there's been a couple people who've really benefited from Bobby's adjustment in the lineup. And those 2 guys are Martine Prado. As he's led off, he can do it with power. He can spray the ball to all fields, and he's a good table setter for the guys who haven't had much runners on base for production. Troy Glaus has also benefited. He hasn't switched the order too much, but he's been hot of late and have carried the Braves in this stretch that hopefully will let them pass a bunch of teams as they get their way to Philadelphia. So when Bobby does this, he does the things that gives his team the best chance to win, and kudos to him for making all these adjustments.
Yeah, not easy to do. Martine Prado, by the way, just named the National League Player of the Week for his good work this past week. And when we come back, we're going to talk about some Braves pitching. That's been pretty good this past week as well, especially Tim Hudson, who's been a model of consistency all year long. And we'll talk about Braves pitchers and tonight's starter when we come back. Joe and John back with you as the Braves get set to entertain the New York Mets first of a brief 2-game series. And by and large, John, the starting pitching's been pretty good all year long. But one guy who's been a model of consistency has been Tim Hudson, and he improved to 4-1 yesterday.
He has. Every game out, he's given the Braves a chance to win. 7 of 8 quality starts. And when you look at Tim Hudson, you see stuff. He's down in the zone. He does everything that you want as an infielder to get ground balls, and he's been so effective. He's pitched deep in the game, 52 innings, leading the team in innings pitched. And you know what? He's got confidence. After his elbow surgery, he's done everything you have to do to help the team win. Now, you look at Derek Lowe coming off of a strong start in Milwaukee. He needs to step it up a little bit now in May to get some more innings pitched for this team, because he, along with Tim Hudson, have to bolster this staff because you've got some young guys. These guys have to pitch innings for the Braves to be successful and to catch the teams ahead of them.
Well, the Braves have a tough assignment themselves. The hitters do. Mike Pelfrey will be on the mound for the New York Mets. Should be a good matchup of 2 strong right-handers. We'll have first pitch for you right after this. Atlanta metro area earlier today, but right now it is absolutely gorgeous at the ballpark. Temperature 81 degrees, low humidity, a little breeze blowing across from left toward right, but a great night for baseball. And it's time for the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry Big Smile seat upgrade. JJ's found some lucky fans and is now upgrading their seats. Yeah, I'd celebrate too. Keep watching to see where their new seats are located. Sponsored by the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. Let's take a look at the batting order, brought to you by Stone Mountain Park and Evergreen Marriott Resort. For great getaway packages, visit stonemountainpark.com. And for Jerry Manuel of the New York Mets this evening, Jose Reyes will lead it off, followed by Luis Castillo and Jason Bay, who's heating up a little bit. His last 8 games hitting over 400. Chris Carter's in right field. Jeff Francoeur not playing tonight. He's been ice cold and getting a night off. David Wright at third base, then rookie Ike Davis at first. Barajas, Matthews, and Pelfrey round out the bottom third of the order. And on the mound for the Braves, right-hander Derek Lowe.
Derek Lowe, as we said, coming off a good outing in Milwaukee. Now he needs to step up and get into the 7th, 8th innings for the Braves. This team he's facing is having a little trouble against right-handers, and there's some reasons for that. Some guys missing, but they're not hitting too well against right-handers. Currently 13 and 15, and for Derek to be successful, he's got to work down in the zone. Ed Repolano, the home plate umpire, should be a pitcher's strike type guy, and hopefully both pitchers will feed in the strike zones. We'll have a good game, and Derek will pitch in the 7th, 8th inning.
That would be ideal, and there are the umpires with Ed Repolano behind the plate. Tom Hallion is at first base. Ron Culpa will be at second, and in his 6th year, Lance Barksdale is the third base umpire.
One of the things that's surprising in the lineups, you get some success against Derek Lowe, but Jason Bay 0 for 13. And he's been hot, as you mentioned, so 0 for 13 against Derek Lowe, something he doesn't like about him. See how he handles him today.
Here's another guy that's been cold, Jose Reyes, back in the leadoff spot for the Mets. Shows bunt and takes a strike. He is just 4 for his last 27, and his average down to 221. And as he goes, many times, so go the Mets. Corners come in, and Casey tries to bunt again. 1-1 the count.
I called him the most intimidating leadoff hitter back before his injuries because he could do so much and cause so much problems for the pitcher and the next two hitters that you had to face if he got on first base.
Sends a fly ball straight up the chute, out behind second. Prado will have to make the play because Escobar ran smack dab into Ron Culpa, the second base umpire, and Escobar's bent over at the waist, but it looks like he'll be all right. The defense for Atlanta. In the outfield, Hinsky, Mclouth, and Heyward. Infield third to first, Jones, Escobar, Prado, and Gloss. And, of course, Brian McCann behind the plate. Mets have lost 5 in a row and 7 out of 8. They are reeling. They are now in the cellar in the National League East. And a big powwow today here in Atlanta with Mets brass and the manager, Jerry Manuel. Lee Castillo steps in and takes outside. He's hitting .264. 3 for 12 in this road trip. They just got swept in a 4-game series down in Florida. He tries to bunt and fouls one off.
Well, they've lost all their series so far on the road, all 5 of them. Not a good sign if you want to be in what really this league could be the chutes and ladders league, with the exception of Philadelphia. Everyone's sliding up, climbing up, sliding down, winning 5, losing 5.
That's a great description. And I love playing chutes and ladders. They have the fewest wins of anybody in baseball on the road at 4-12. Slap foul past Chipper. 1-2. In that meeting, Mets Chief Operating Officer Jeff Wilpon was in attendance. So was Omar Minaya, the general manager, and his assistant, John Rico. And the story is they met in the manager's office here at the ballpark behind closed doors. And the team knew that all those guys were in there, which was a little odd that it didn't take place at the hotel or some other spot.
The pitch just came back just a little late. When his sinker's effective, he'll get a lot of guys to freeze on this inside pitch. And he gets a ground out this time.
To Hopper. I'll take that as a good sign, though, John, that he was trying to come in on him and run that ball back.
Absolutely. The Mets were in first place May 1st. Now they find themselves in last. And if you're a Braves fan, and if you're a Braves player for that matter, this is the team you've got to take 2 games from and keep passing each team. You want to climb up to where Washington is. Nobody's concerned right now, if you're a Braves player, about catching Philadelphia. You just got to be ahead of these other teams to put yourself in position to do that.
Here's Jason Bay, the man we talked about that was going so good right now. These are the standings as of today. With the Braves having won 5 out of 6, they've climbed over the Mets and looking to do the same to Florida and Washington. Should be an easy inning. Derek Lowe, and it is. A pop-up and 2 groundouts. He gets them 1, 2, 3. A good sign for Derek Lowe. Braves coming to the plate. 2-3. Let's take a look at Bobby Cox's lineup tonight. Leading off will be the National League Player of the Week, Martine Prado. Quite a day yesterday, his first multi-home run game. 4 hits on the day, followed by Jason Heyward and Chipper Jones. Brian McCann hitting cleanup. Troy Gloss is hot, so is Eric Hinsky. Escobar, Mclouth, and Lowe round out the order. And Mike Pelfrey, 4-1 on the year, gets the start for the Mets.
Well, if you're Mike Pelfrey, you like your first 4 starts numbers. 0.69 ERA in his first 4. You don't like your last 3. 6.88 ERA. Some Braves have had some good success against him, including Brian McCann, lifetime 464. So he's trying to get back onto his confidence track as he's trying to snap a losing streak that the Mets have been on. And the Braves are trying to increase their numbers as they have been swinging the bats better lately in the last 5 to 6 games.
Martine's good work has his average up to 323, 4 homers now, and 18 RBIs. Takes outside. 5 for 12 in his career off Pelfrey with a homer. Both of these pitchers tonight have something in common. Up the middle, base hit. What's new for Martine? Mike Pelfrey's ERA in his career against the Braves, 5.58. That's the second highest of any team against Mike. And Derek Lowe's ERA against the Mets is over 7, and that's the highest of any team he's ever pitched against, career-wise. So something's got to give tonight. Jason Heyward, 0 for his last 10. That matches his season high longest drought without a hit. Went 1 for 12 in the series against Arizona and hitting 276. Goes up there hacking and fouls one back.
What I like already early on is he's going to go through a few more 0 for 10s, as every player in the league does. But he doesn't seem to panic and change a whole lot in his approach. Then, as he saw on the road trip when he came back from injury, started swinging the bat, hit some home runs. He just seems to have the flair for delivering even if he's been 0 for 10.
That's out of play, 0-2. Yeah, his numbers with runners on base a whole lot better than they are when they're empty. And among rookies, at 276, he's 5th. He's 1st in a whole bunch of other categories. We get to see Ike Davis in these 2 games as well, the first baseman for the Mets. Pelfrey stumbles, and now they've got Prado hung up. Martine, when he saw Pelfrey stumble, took off for second, and they're going to pick him off. But Pelfrey was only saved by the fact that he threw the ball. He was about to go face down in the dirt on the front slope of the mound, but threw it instead.
There's a play they've been working on in spring training. Not really. You're lucky you don't do anything to hurt yourself, but he actually worked out for the Mets' favor as Martine was trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Good play by Barajas.
6'6", says 230, probably a little bit more stout than that. You get that momentum going the wrong way. Probably couldn't pick up the ball, and it was too late by that point.
Yeah. When you see the guy stumble and then throw it in the dirt, you feel pretty good about your chances. But an excellent play by Barajas caused the out. So 1-2 to Heyward. 2-2.
I don't know if he'll be on Dancing with the Stars soon, Joe. I think a year ago he had this problem in San Francisco. Hal said he had 3 balks where he was catching his foot and just, what they would say in baseball terms, had the monkey there for a little bit on his back. Yeah, he's had a couple times where he's had this issue, but Dancing with the Stars is not in his future.
Jojo Reyes had that same issue at times where he would kind of scuff his foot. His stride foot would kind of catch the dirt and cause him to stumble a little bit. I've seen that happen to him. Now pitch fouled off.
It's amazing how many pitchers, and there's not thankfully a lot of them, but it's amazing how many pitchers they can't throw to first.
unless they're told to. They can't do it on their own. They get stuck. They don't, and they have the problem when they're in the stretch. Some guys just get, for whatever reason, frozen, and they don't have an athletic position to go to. But it happens to enough pitchers.
Struck him out. Good hard sinker. And Heyward down on strikes. And Jason was 1 for 9 in the Mets series in New York and struck out 4 times there. Chipper will bat with 2 out, nobody on. Those numbers for Pelfrey that you mentioned, John, in his recent starts cover 17 innings, 23 hits, and 13 runs.
Now, they've been polar opposite to the beginning of the season.
Chipper hacking away at the first pitch. He fouls one back. 6 for 20 with 2 homers against Pelfrey in his career. Lifted into right field and fairly deep, but room for Chris Carter, who's in right field tonight, and he'll make the catch. And as it turns out, only 3 hitters face for Mike Pelfrey. No score. Fans still filing into Turner Field. No scores. We go to the second inning. Now it's time to take a look at the SunTrust Solid Performance, brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. And tonight's subject, most wins by pitchers since 2002. Roy Halladay at the top of the list, but look who's second. There's Derek Lowe and also Johan Santana, who will pitch here tomorrow night for the Mets, in 5th place. Derek with 126 wins in that period of time. Chris Carter stands in and swings at the first pitch and lines it to center, and it's going to get over Nate Mclouth's head and go to the wall. Carter came in yesterday and got a hit, and getting the start in right field tonight because of the slump that Jeff Francoeur's been in. Jeff just 5 for his last 50.
Nicknamed the Animal by his manager. He came over from Boston. Nobody swings harder and tries to hit the ball farther than this guy. And you could see that the center fielder, Mclouth, just that's the hardest play, really. The ball hit straight out of center fielder with the ball jumping off the bat. A double.
Second double, and he's 4 for 9 since he got called up. David Wright hitting .278. Tied for the most strikeouts in the league with Justin Upton, who was just in town with the Diamondbacks. They both have 50. 51 make it.
And he is 3rd in the majors with 28 walks, so it's somewhat of a balance there. But I don't think as Derek attacks Mr. Wright, he just wants to make sure that he can keep the ball on the ground, because 438 batting average, I believe, off of.
Yeah, 7 for 16 off Derek. 2-1 the count. An interesting number on David Wright, though. He came in hitting 278, but when he puts the ball in play, meaning if you take the strikeouts away, he's hitting 440. So he just needs to make a little more contact. 3-1.
You know, I am guessing here with the loss of some of the players that the Mets have had. You know, he may be taking more of an ownership to try and drive the ball and hit with more power. And I mean, their ballpark doesn't lend to that. You know, it's a big ballpark. They've had a lot of triples. I think they lead baseball in triples in the National League.
Hard hit to the right side. Prado gets it on one hop, looks to third, but makes the smart play to first to get right. One down, and Ike Davis is the batter, the rookie who hit one about 9 miles against Atlanta in New York when they were at Citi Field.
A lot of people don't realize Derek's been in 575 games because of his closing days and relief. Career record 146 and 120. So since 2002, he's got the majority of those wins and made a lot of starts along that way.
And he promptly plunks Ike Davis and puts him on the corners. Well, again, he's been urged to pitch inside more.
This one is going to leave a nice mark. For those of you who've never been hit by a baseball, there's nothing that prepares you for tightening up your muscles when the ball's coming. And then it squares you up. It'll be a big, nice blue bruise on that leg tomorrow.
Just the second hit batsman for Derek Lowe. Rod Barajas. Boy, what a pickup he's been. 9 homers, 20 RBIs for the Mets. Three for 6 in his career against Lowe. Derek did not pitch against New York in that first series of the year where the Mets swept Atlanta.
I always think this is an interesting challenge. The hitter knows what you're trying to do as a pitcher. You want him to hit a double play. So the hitter's looking for a ball to elevate so he doesn't hit in a double play, because most catchers that hit it on the ground is a double play. So it's the battle that goes on early in the game where the hitter's just looking for one pitch and the pitcher's trying whatever he can to fool him enough that he can get that inning-ending, in this case, inning-ending double play.
Yeah, anything you can get as a hitter that you can drive to the outfield will produce a run. 2-0. Full foul. Barajas had a pretty good series when he was in there against Florida. Went 4 for 9. Mets were missing their backup catcher, former Brave Henry Blanco, for a week. He's been activated from the bereavement list. He was in Venezuela to be with his ill mother. Driven into left center field. Gapper. That might plate 2. Davis hesitated. He's just now coming into third, but he's going to be waved home by Chip Hale. And he'll score standing up. A 2-run double for Rod Barajas. And the Mets take an early 2-0 lead.
That's a perfect example of the hitter winning it out. 2-1 count. He got one up over the middle of the plate. This is not what you want if you're Derek Lowe, and the catcher took advantage of it and split the gap, plating 2 runs.
Derek has now 10 innings on the year, which he's allowed multiple runs. Only Charlie Morton of the Pirates has allowed more. He's allowed 11. Derek's tied with 3 other pitchers with 10. Gary Matthews, the batter. A couple of hits yesterday coming off the bench, so he was rewarded with a start tonight. But hitting just 184. Tough year so far for him, and now Lowe wants to talk to McCann.
You know, I didn't get a chance to see the whole game in Milwaukee. You were up there, and obviously Derek had an effective game, and you said he pitched in a little bit. But one thing that gets him in trouble is you don't mind walking a guy with 4 sinkers down. It's when that elevated sinker gets up, it's just not a pitch that's going to have any kind of movement that's going to fool the hitter. So he has to concentrate down as in, that's an off-speed pitch right there, to get these hitters thinking a little bit more that his sinker is going to be hard to hit. And if you elevate it and you don't have an off-speed pitch or a slider to move it away, the results have been, to your point, multi-inning runs.
I just remember when Derek was with the Dodgers in the seasons leading up to his arrival in Atlanta. Every time Atlanta faced him, you knew that it was going to be a battle to get anything airborne. Going to be a ton of ground balls that night.
And I know, just facing him, trying to bunt, it was the hardest thing to do to put a bunt in. I mean, it looks like a right-handed split finger. And if he can find the mechanical adjustment or whatever that is to get back, the Braves are going to be very happy, because he will pitch deep in the game. He will get hitters swinging at a lot of pitches, and you get a lot of 1-2 pitch outs. So far this year, you're getting a lot of walks, a lot of pitches, a lot less innings. He's only gone 6 innings twice, and, it puts a lot of stress on your ball club as he's up there in the top of the rotation. The bullpen's got to pick up 3, 3.5, 3 1/3 innings of relief every night.
Matthews stays alive. Gary playing under the watchful eye of his uncle Henry. Our Henry Matthews working camera down in the lower third box tonight. Barajas at second. He's driven in 2 with a double. Matthews with a little tapper. Low slip coming off the mound. And got the call at first. Wow. Tom Hallion calls out Gary Matthews, and Razor shines the first base coach through his hands in the air. And here comes Jerry Manuel, the manager.
I tell you, when I saw that live, I thought, I'm going to wait. I'm going to reserve my judgment.
I thought he was safe.
That looked safe. He gets to the ball, makes a nice quick throw, but as you can see, it already stepped on the bag, and Braves got the benefit of that call.
He was almost by the bag. A break for Derek Lowe in Atlanta. 2 out. Foot on the bag. Yeah. Tom missed that one, but he's a good umpire. And the Braves certainly caught a break there. Mike Pelfrey, 3 for 13, not too bad. He's driven in a couple of runs this year. Great big strong guy with a bat in his hand. Out of Wichita State. He was a first-round draft pick by the Mets in 2005. Pretty much all world when he was at Wichita State. "26 years old.
Wright-Patterson, I'm taking, that's an Air Force base in Ohio.
Wichita has a lot of, and he makes his home in Wichita. Wichita's got a lot of airplane manufacturing plants there, or used to, and maybe his dad was transferred there because of that. To third. Chipper waits for a good hop. And the inning is over. But the Mets strike first. A 2-run double by Rod Barajas puts them on top, and we go to the bottom of the second.
express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Bottom of the second, Mets 2, Atlanta nothing. Fans, it's time for the know-how question of the game built by the Home Depot. If you have a question, send us an email. And if chosen, we will answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachtree.com. Please include your name. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. Kind of like that. Fans been asking some pretty good questions lately.
Yeah, they have. We'll have one later tonight. Brian McCann will lead off for the Braves in the second. He's got a 4-game hitting streak working, 6 for his last 16. Has his average back up over 250. And as you said, John, just tearing Mike Pelfrey up. 13 for 28 in his career.
Mac will be over 300 by the end of May. That's my call. I haven't looked at the numbers to see if that's possible, but that's still my call.
Wouldn't surprise me. Takes a strike from Pelfrey. They don't have a big shift on for Brian, but David Wright way off the line at third, and Castillo out in shallow right field. Reyes still on the third base side of second.
You can see on your screen, this is the one tough time of the day when it's sunny. That little bit of sun comes in the middle and hits the hitter right there, right in the face. You just don't feel as comfortable. It only lasts for a short period of time. And then it goes to the mound and hits the pitcher right in the eyes. And then it hits the first baseman. So when you're playing this game, you sometimes got to play around the inadvertent little creaks and crannies where the sun can come through and play with the hitter and the pitcher.
And Brian wearing those goggles too. There might be a little glare on them. To right field and pretty deep. Carter keeps backpedaling and on the trap makes the catch. What wind we have tonight might have helped that a little bit. One out for Troy Gloss. Troy 5 for 11 in the series against Arizona with a homer. And his 5th homer yesterday, bouncing one off the top of the center field fence. His average all the way up to 283. One and one the count. 94 on that fastball from Pelfrey.
Being 6'6", it doesn't look like he throws that hard when he delivers the ball, but he gets there so quick to the hitter that it has a heavy fastball type, what they call heavy, and it's not one with a violent motion. Just kind of gets there and the hitter, it's up on the hitter. And
Troy, one of the hottest hitters in the National League over the last 10 days. Talk in L.A. about having to put Andre Ethier on the disabled list. That's out of play. Ethier suffered a broken pinky finger during batting practice a couple of days ago.
And they're hot, too. That would be a big blow to the Dodgers starting to play good ball again.
You know, L.A.'s won 7 in a row. And Ethier leading in all the key departments, average home runs and RBIs, as Gloss is down on strikes. Second one recorded by Pelfrey.
You know, the Mets pitching staff's in a little bit of a disarray, trying to find themselves. They lost Perez to the bullpen. 2 statistics. One, they're second, tied in Ks. They've struck out a lot of guys, but they lead the majors with the most walks.
Yeah, and the difference between their walks and the next highest team is 21. So that's a lot. That's a big disparity between 15th and 16th place. Eric Hinsky has hit in 5 straight. He too was 5 for 11 with a homer in the Arizona series. And he hit his first homer of the year yesterday.
Getting a second and third pitch over is crucial for Mike because he does have a good fastball.
That's foul.
But early on, he's mixing it up. Obviously, his numbers showed very well with a 0.69 ERA. But if he doesn't get that second or third, he gets really kind of reduced to that fastball. And he's not one of those guys that's going to live down in the zone. He can live up in the zone. 96, you saw that last fastball he struck out. So his key to success is getting a slider to break a little more than it has, and then that change up or split, whatever he has, to keep the hitters off balance. Go back to that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Boy. Took a little off of that one, but missed. 2-2. His last start against Washington, he got no decision. Mets lost that one 6-4. He pitched into the 6th inning, gave up 7 hits and 3 walks and 4 runs. Pinsky stays alive. Pelfrey was the guy that was really the beneficiary of that rain-shortened game in New York against the Braves. And the game only lasted 5 innings, and he won it 1-0. Tommy Hanson got the loss on an unearned run in the first.
And he also has a save this year. Most starters don't get the benefit of that weird 20-inning or 21-inning game.
Oh, that's right. In St. Louis. Driven to center field. On the run, Matthews. He's not going to catch up. Eric Hinsky has hit in his 6th straight game, and it's a double. And he just keeps barreling up everything.
Off-speed pitch. He slowed everything down, gave it away, really. He was able to stay back and hit it to the other side of the center fielder for a double, Joe. And you're right. He has just looked comfortable, looks locked in, and really done a really good job in the outfield. And most people, would assume that it might be a little bit of he might be limited out there, but he hasn't done anything other than played really good baseball and helped this lineup.
8 doubles already. He has a triple and a homer. That's 10 extra base hits of his 19. Of his 19 total hits. Escobar stands in hitting .209. 1 for 7 in the Arizona series after being activated Saturday.
Come on, kid.
Was 0 for 5 in New York against the Mets. Braves didn't hit a lick up there. They lost 5-2, 3-1, and 1-0. And for the Mets and their losing streak they're on right now, everybody's saying it's like the 2 teams have flipped places in more ways than one because the Mets aren't hitting right now.
Well, one of the things that could, and you don't know how it's going to play out, new ballpark, 4.88 ERA on the road. Obviously, they're more comfortable at home. It's a pitcher's ballpark, which translates as not a hitter's ballpark as well. So you have 2 totally different things that you're dealing with.
Nice play on a short hop by Ike Davis. Escobar tried to go to right field, but Davis makes the play. Braves leave a runner in scoring position, and we go to the 3rd. Atlanta down 2. For the third inning. And here are the recipients of the Big Smile Seat Upgrade, sponsored by Dr. Deborah Gray King and the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry, the place in Atlanta to get a beautiful smile. JJ made some more friends. Right down just past the end of the Braves dugout. Top of the order again for the Mets. Jose Reyes popped to second his first time up. Now 4 for his last 28. Hard hit, but Gloss was playing in and there to smother that hop. 1 out.
For the Mets to get going, they need that guy right there to be the Reyes of old. And I know he's been fighting some injuries, trying to come back. He makes that whole lineup a whole different lineup when he gets on base. It just causes people have no idea what it's like when you're facing a guy that can run. That second hitter just got a lot better.
Like Jose's going to take his bat and helmet to the other end of the dugout and have a talk with him. Strike call to Castillo. The Mets offense, 10th in the league in runs scored, 11th in homers, 13th in on-base percentage. And if you want to look for some silver lining, they are second in the league in stolen bases. But when this team is 13th in on-base percentage, there are problems at the top of the order, as you just pointed out. To first again, and Gloss again. An easy play, 2 down.
Braves baseball on Peachtree TV in HD is brought to you by BB&T, best bank in town since 1872. I got out at the right time, Joe, for this HD stuff. The big screen, take your hat off, they notice everything.
Yeah.
Never used to be that way. You could fake it from a distance, you know, the hairline and all that.
Too much glare.
Well, it's just that you just can't get away with anything with this screen and the way TV is today.
I think you'd have been all right. 0-1 to Jason Bay. Grounded out his first time up. 4 straight ground ball outs for Lowe since the double by Barajas.
He's finding out that it's a little bit different. As you see those statistics right there, bigger ballpark. He loved hitting at Fenway. A lot of that has to do, too, with the lineup he was with. It's a little different lineup, and he could pitch around some guys, and they couldn't in Boston's lineup with that wall, 36 home runs and 531 at-bats. As you mentioned, coming in with a 10-game hitting streak.
You played with him. He strikes me as kind of a quiet guy who just kind of likes to go about his business. Is that accurate?
Yeah, very streaky hitter. There's times where he guesses extremely well, locked in, and then there's times where he goes through stretches where he'll strike out a lot, but it doesn't stay. It's not like he makes the adjustments when he has to from game to game, but he's an RBI machine and seemed to be last year perfect fit. Maybe not for the city, but for the team, as he ended up going on to sign with the Mets. But a great guy to have on the ball club.
Full count now from Lowe. Got him with a breaking ball. Good pitch there for Derek and a good inning. He needed that. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Mets.
We got the heat.
chance to win free airfare for 2 if the Braves hit a home run during this 3rd inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/contests for official rules and to enter for a chance to win. AirTran Airways, go. There's nothing stopping you. Bottom part of the order, Nate Mclouth, Derek Lowe, and then back to the number 1 guy, Martine Prado. Nate had a good series against Arizona, 4 for 12 with a homer. Bumped his average up a little bit. Still trying to find some timing and some consistency in his swing, and seemed to find something there against the Diamondbacks. 1-1.
He's got one job to do, and that's make Derek Lowe bunt and give your hot hitters a chance to get some RBI situations. The 8th hitter is one of the toughest spots in the National League, but is a very important part to give that pitcher an opportunity to bunt. More times than not, you're going to be successful.
That's driven in the gap in right center field. That could be extra bases. Matthews trying to cut it off. He'll cut it off right in front of the wall and hold Mclouth to a double. But Nate does just what you said, John. He gets on ahead of Derek Lowe, who can move him to third base with a good bunt. And for Mclouth, his 8th double.
Ball over the middle of the plate, didn't get to the outside part. Of course, he has been swinging the bat better, and he finds the gap there. Now Derek trying to get Nate to third base. So Martine can have the first opportunity to draw the Braves closer.
Mclouth had a home run in game 1 against the Diamondbacks, 2 doubles in game 2. Davis slipped to third, but his only play was to first. Nice job by Derek Lowe. Lowe's 4th sacrifice of the year.
You saw him look to third to see if he had a play. I don't think he had a play at all. It would have been very risky. Remember, you got to make the tag there, so he got the out. 2-run lead. You don't want a big inning, and that certainly could have created a big inning if you make a mistake trying to go to third base and don't get the out. But I always liked as a pitcher to bunt the ball to third base, so you eliminate that play.
Right.
But he got it done bunting it in that Bermuda Triangle there between the pitcher's mound and first base.
So the player of the week will get a chance to drive in the first run of the night. Martine 4 for 9, getting that guy in from third with less than 2 outs. Singled his first time up. Martine, as he has been all year long. I mean, it was one of the few guys that had a decent series up in New York. He was 3 for 9 with a couple of doubles. 2-0.
These offenses have kind of turned into similar offenses coming into right now the current score. Braves and Mets have each scored 169 runs. They each were hitting 247. 29 home runs for the Braves, 30 for the Mets. They're kind of in the similar position.
What a difference having Martine at the top of the order in terms of that batting average this month. Pretty good pitch there by Pelfrey at 94. Mets are 4-12 on the road. They've lost 9 of their last 11 away from Citi Field. The 2-1. 3-1. The infield's back for the Mets with the exception of David Wright. Now he's backing up a few steps. If he got a sharply hit ball and if Mclouth broke for the plate, he might come home, but everybody else conceding the run.
Anywhere but third base.
He walked him. First and third. First walk for Pelfrey to go with a couple of strikeouts. And one of those strikeouts was Jason Heyward in the first. Jason 0 for his last 11.
I think he's going to get a fastball and drive it somewhere. Pelfrey got away with some pitches in that first at bat. Seeing him the second time. Let's see if Jason can, as he has, driven in 5 of 6 runners. Pretty good right there. Less than 2 outs.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And hitting .480 with runners in scoring position. Up the middle. Reyes will take it to second, throw to first, double play, inning over. Heyward hit it sharply, but with Reyes playing up the middle, he was in perfect position to start the double play. This has been the Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. Be sure to register at PeachtreeTV.com/contest for official rules and for your chance to win.
Toyota trivia question. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward. Who was the first player to compile both 3,000 career hits and 500-plus homers?
Willie Mays?
I'm going Hank Aaron.
Okay.
I've been over, I think, so far this year.
Maybe tonight's the night. Chris Carter lined a double on the first pitch to him in the second inning. Leading off, and with 1 out after Ike Davis had been hit by a pitch, they both scored on a double by Rod Barajas. That's where we are, 2-0. This guy's solid, 6 feet 230.
He's strong. He's put on a show for you in BP. He loves to hit the ball out of the park.
Originally signed with the Diamondbacks out of Stanford. Traded to the Nationals. Red Sox got him from the Nationals as a player to be named later for Willie Mo Pena. And then the Mets got him last year in the deal that sent Billy Wagner to Boston. He draws a leadoff walk. First walk issued by Lowe. He has hit a batter. He had retired 5 in a row. 4 by ground out, 1 by strikeout. Wright grounded out his first time up, hit the ball sharply to move a runner over from second to third. Takes a strike. Derek's 36 years old. He'll be 37 on June 1st. .6'6", 230. How far is Dearborn, Michigan, his hometown? How far is that from where you grew up?
About an hour. Him and Avery. Avery still lives there.
Soft line drive to right. Heyward fights the sun a little bit, but he goes to his right to make the catch. Something the scouting report said David Wright's been doing a lot of. He's trying to hit the ball to right and right center. But retired there, one out, and Ike Davis the hitter. Dearborn's a suburb of Detroit, isn't it?
It is. Ford dealership right there. It's amazing Steve's lived there this whole time, raising his family there and still dominating rec softball. Crushing the ball. Pulled a few hammies along the way too, he said.
Has he?
Yeah.
1-0 to Davis. That home run Ike Davis hit off the Braves on April 23rd was his first major league homer, and it was a memorable one. Might be two. Prado to Escobar. They'll have to hurry. Got him. DP lane there. Good turn by Escobar. And a quick feed from Prado. We go to the bottom of the fourth.
Toyota trivia question. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, moving forward. Who was the first player to compile both 3,000 career hits and 500-plus home runs?
I said Mays. You said Aaron.
Yep.
Way to go. You're on the board.
Yes. Chalk that one up. Speaking of getting on the board, this inning the Braves get on the board. May 17th. That's today.
40 years ago. So a good anniversary for the Hammer. Chipper Jones flied right his first time up. One for his last 11. Stung the ball a couple of times pretty hard yesterday, though, but right at people. Speaking of Detroit, as we were, they got rained out tonight, or snowed out, I'm not sure which, at home against the White Sox. Supposed to be some bad weather moving across that part of the country. 3-0. Mets up 2-0. Braves have a hit in each of the first three innings. Had a leadoff double from Mclouth in the third, but got him to third and couldn't get him in. Double play wiped him out. 3-1.
Yeah, my nephew's lawn business in Michigan's taking a hit. They're all backed up. He's got 23 lawns he does, and that weather's killed him.
Ball four to Chipper, leadoff walk.
So, speaking of Michigan, this family had named their child Odd, O-D-D.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he grew up in Dearborn, matter of fact. He grew up, everyone made fun of him as a kid. They made fun of him as an adult. He gets later in his life and he asks his wife, please, when I pass, just put nothing on my tombstone, nothing. I want to rest in peace. Sure enough, he does. He passes. They don't put anything on the tombstone. One day, a family was walking around looking at all that, and they was like, look right there. There's no name right there. That's odd.
Brian McCann. Thank goodness Brian can't hear all the way down there. He'd be at nausea.
Yeah, but the percentage of runs after a joke is off the charts. So.
Okay, well, I'll give you that. We'll see what happens. One and one the count.
I should have said, isn't that odd? There's many ways you can go.
I was just going to say, don't go back. Don't revisit. Galima already gave you a 7.1. That's a lot higher than I would have given it. 2-1. Brian flied right his first time up. Back Carter up to the warning track. Went 3 for 8 against Arizona with a homer. Didn't play yesterday. Got the day off. David Ross had the honors. Change up, hit off the end of the bat. Chipper doesn't want to run into a tag. They get the out at first, and now they'll run Chipper down and get the double play anyway. Chipper stopped, but it looked like he might have had a chance to get around Castillo. Obviously, he didn't think he could.
It's the old no man's land. You got to make a decision quick, and you really can't run into the guy, to the second baseman with the ball. So good play by the second baseman.
Yeah, and watching it again, there's no way Chipper could have gotten there fast enough to get past him. Second double play in as many innings for the Mets. Troy Gloss will hit the 2 out. Oh! Troy struck out his first time. Good swing. Troy's had a very good month of May, hitting an even 400 coming into play tonight. 22 for 55 with 3 homers. Popped up, foul territory. Barajas at the screen, runs out of room. In fact, the Braves team hitting 276 for the month of May, a huge improvement over April, and 14 homers.
Much of the talk, we talked about some of the pitching staffs they faced on the road, being on the road all the time. In April, they 3.7 runs per game. Here in May, 6 runs per game.
Quite a difference for the pitching staff to work with. Took a little off, got him again. That's 3 strikeouts for Pelfrey, and he's gotten Gloss twice. We played 4 innings. Mets up 2-0.
at an unexpectedly low price. Jamieson Inn's Live Large, Pay Less.
Joe and John back with you here as we go to the 5th inning at Turner Field. Mets up 2-0. All their damage in the 2nd inning. Both of their hits. A double by Carter leading off. Davis was hit by a pitch with 1 out, and then Rod Barajas delivered both of them home with a double to left center, and he leads off the 5th inning. Here's that base hit.
Ball comes right back to the barrel of the bat.
Chases a breaking ball there. A good one. 1-1 the count. Barajas was a late sign by the Mets and has been a very pleasant surprise for them. Taste another one.
See, with Derek, there's a fine line. He can't overpower his sinker, and he can't use his frame to just throw it really hard because it's going to flatten out. It's the mechanical adjustment that he has struggled with from time to time in keeping the ball down. You saw him swing at that curveball, which looked like a two-seamer. That's the kind of mix and match he's got to do with these hitters.
Good pitch there, down and away. Had some good late movement. He has his 2nd strikeout.
Repeating these mechanics, staying square, everything was good right there. He does show you a little bit of the butt. What I say, when he finishes as almost like he's got his back to the hitter. But as long as he doesn't spin off, as long as he doesn't fall off, that sinker and that curveball stays on plane. You want that ball to stay on plane so that it doesn't drift back into the hitting zone.
Gary Matthews Jr. put down a swinging bunt his first time up. It looked like he beat it out, but didn't get the call. Oh, 0-2 to Matthews. Taken low, 2-2. Phillies have already jumped on Pittsburgh at home tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Bottom of the 4th, Phillies up 6-1 on the Pirates, and the Diamondbacks left town, went down to Florida, and they've jumped on Florida early, 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Got him looking. Matthews knew it too. 3rd strikeout for Derek, and the 2nd one in a row.
Took off some pitches, the miles per hour, the last 2, and he just froze them with an 89-mile-an-hour sinker. These are the ones you want to bottle. He knew it's too late. Sitting down.
Yeah, he got caught looking for something else. Brings Pelfrey, the pitcher, up. He bounced one to Chipper his first time. Down the line, room for Heyward, and into foul territory. He makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Derek Lowe. Hinsky, Escobar, and Mclouth threw up for Atlanta. Braves trailed 2-0. Glad you're with us tonight on Peachtree TV. Braves trailing 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule, brought to you by AirTran Airways. Go! There's nothing stopping you. Last part of this homestand for the Braves. One more game with the Mets tomorrow night right here on Peachtree TV. And we'll also have the first game of the Cincinnati Reds series. How about the way the Reds are playing? And the finale of the homestand on Sports South against Cincinnati. And then the Braves head back out on the road, a 3-game weekend set at Pittsburgh. Sports South on Friday and Fox Sports South on Sunday. And remember that Thursday game, a 105 start here in Atlanta.
You never want to look too far ahead, but that's a schedule that the Braves can make some moves.
Big slow curve to Hinske for a strike. He doubled with 2 out in the second, was left stranded. His 8th double already. Big cut, fouled it back. That Cincinnati team, though, has played some great baseball. They're going to come to town hot no matter what happens the next couple of days. Won 8 of their last 10. Moved a half game ahead of St. Louis. Here's the Central Division standings.
How about the Pirates? They're in 3rd.
Moving on up. Driven to deep right. Get up. Stay high enough. Gone. Home run. Eric Hinske.
Not an 0-2 pitch you want to make as a pitcher. And I lied. The joke usually has a 1-inning after effect. So, take that. He tried to bury it inside. And that is out. He buries it over the right field fence.
Second homer in as many days for Eric.
Hal's at odds with that.
Yes, he is. I just was worried that ball wasn't going to get up high enough. Smoked it. Escobar grounded out his first time.
Come on, that's great.
Hinske's 18th RBI. To third, right, with a heck of a play to the backhand on a short hop, but somehow he came up with it.
Real good play. Almost caught him on the heel, which would have flipped up in the air, and he would have been safe. Makes the play. Pelfrey's got to be careful on his off-speed pitches. He's slowing down, and the Braves hitters will pick up on that and be able to make him pay. He's firm with his fastball. When he goes to off-speed, it almost looks like he lets the air out, as the air out of his derriere, as they call it, and he just has to be firm with these pitches. Did you like that?
No, not really. I don't think I'll go there. I was just thinking about how telegraphing might have been a better description. He kind of telegraphed it. 2-0 to Mclouth. You're awesome. 2-1.
But you can see right there, that pitch is a lot more firm. He comes at the hitter, and when he goes to his off-speed pitches, he's slowing down, his arms slower, and the hitter has got time to recoup and keep his hands back.
2-2.
I've not seen him do that as much, where he slows down and throws a slower curveball. And he's just trying to find ways to keep the hitter off balance, because you can't live fastballs all day.
That was Dan Warthen, the pitching coach for the Mets, on the rail. He lays off that breaking ball. Full count. 3-2. Again, he'd like to reach and give Derek Lowe a chance to butt him over. Nate doubled his first time up. Payoff pitch hit in the air to left field. But room for Jason Bay. 2 down. No, some of your stuff I think is actually better than your jokes.
Well,
that's pretty.
And Glav could give you the lowdown on what the language that I speak.
Well,
it's my own.
Yeah.
And he understood it for 13, 14 years.
And I'm sure a lot of that came in the dugout sitting down there talking about it. Now, would you do that? Would you break down opposing pitchers too? Derek Lowe with a chance at a base hit, but a good hop for Reyes gives him a chance to throw him out. We'll talk about that some more when we come back. We've played 5 innings at Turner Field. Eric Hinsky has made it a 2-1 ball game.
Day at Turner Field, Monday, May 31st. The Braves take on the Philadelphia Phillies at 1 p.m., followed by a free Beach Boys post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit Braves.com/Beach Boys. Can't beat it, Joe.
That Memorial Day? No, can. Beach Boys are still big. Good crowd on hand tonight. Mets in town for the first time this year, but just for 2 days. And for the 3rd time tonight, Jose Reyes will lead off. He is popped up, grounded out. Shows bunt and takes ball 1. Two-0 from Derek. We got a nice 1-2-3 inning in the 5th with a couple of strikeouts. The Mets don't come back to Turner Field until the 2nd of August. 3-game set, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then they come back at the end of August to begin a 4-game series beginning August 30th. There's a strike, 3-1. Jeff Francoeur idle tonight. Back through the middle. That'll get through for a base hit. Reyes leads off the 6th inning with a single. Jeff in an 0 for 18 spell and 5 for his last 50. As good as he was in April, Francoeur has really struggled in May. And some people think it started after he was hit in the elbow by Dennis Baez of the Phillies. Plunked him in the elbow, and Jeff's swing hasn't been quite the same.
Well, this is a situation we were talking about when the leadoff hitter gets on, it makes this hitter that much better. And of course, they got to concentrate on a few more facets of the game. Brian's going to hopefully work with Derek to see if he can limit the running game, because they do, as you mentioned, Joe, second in the league stolen bases.
Reyes has 8. He's been caught once. Castillo takes a strike. Chip Hale with the signs at third. He is bunting again. Gets it down. Low quickly to first. Gets the out. Sacrifice for Castillo. That's kind of a change in strategy for the Mets, too.
Yeah, I've never really understood that personally, when you've got a guy with that much speed and then you got a guy that can slap the ball, that you're butting him over. I'm sure he's trying to bunt for a base hit right there and try to make things happen, but you got a runner in second now to meet their order coming up.
Ned Yost and the Kansas City Royals leading Baltimore 2-1. Congratulations to Ned again on his appointment as the new manager of the Royals.
Have they lost since he's been?
Yeah, they lost the second game. I think he's 2-1 and winning tonight. Jason Bay's 0 for 2. He's grounded out, struck out. And 0 for 15 in his career against Derek Lowe.
Big inning for Derek. Your team got you half the runs back. Got to find a way to get him in the dugout. Total pitch is 71, doing fine on that. We got to find a way to get the next 2 outs before the Mets score. See if the Braves can't tie or put you ahead.
Top of the order due up. There goes Reyes to third. McCann's throw. Not in time. Huge jump for Reyes. His 9th stolen base.
As you said, Joe, a huge jump. Good base stealers will steal third a lot easier than will steal second. The timing of the pitcher, if he's doing some of the same things over and over again, you get to know it.
And Bobby's going to play the infield in here. Jason Bay up 2-0 the count. Derek thought that was a strike, but didn't get the call.
Good sinker right here. Probably in the lower part of the zone, across the knees. Brian tried to bring it up.
That was a good pitch. There's one for a strike, 3-1. Jason Bay, 7 of 11 there. As you see, getting that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Lowe wants a ground ball or a strikeout. Instead, it's a walk, and they're on the corners. Second walk issued by Lowe. And Chris Carter will be the batter. Roger McDowell on his way to the mound.
Not all bad. I'm sure Roger, as he comes out here, you got an aggressive hitter, and you can prey off his aggressiveness by throwing real good sinkers down in the zone. Get him to go up. He doesn't like to take, and maybe he can ground into a double play. He doesn't run well either. So Roger's just reaffirming that everything's going good. We just need to get a ground ball right here, and we can get out of this inning with no damage.
The Mets, of course, still missing Carlos Beltran. And if anything, they're excited about the possibility of Beltran coming back in June. He is doing baseball-related activities right now, but he's not running. He's only able to jog after the surgery on his knee in January. But in good shape. Mets saw him down in Florida when they were down there playing the Marlins, and they are hopeful that he will be able to join them in June.
He is a huge part of this team. Switch hitter with power from both sides, could run. And he made the middle of that lineup awfully tough to pitch to.
Well, let's see how Derek Lowe goes after Chris Carter. And you're right. He's going after that first pitch. 0-1. Jason Bay also a Stolen base threat at first. Keep your eye on him. 63 swipes out of 70 attempts in the last 5 years.
This guy is not going to change his approach when he's up there. And so Derek just has to think down. He has to think effectively down to a guy who likes to swing awfully hard.
He stands with his feet real close together, open stance. And he does chop one, but that's going to be tough to turn two on. It'll get a run in. And Carter's got an RBI, his third, and it's 3-1 New York.
That's unfortunate right there. It's a good pitch. Chris will take it, but sometimes it's...
He didn't hit it hard enough, did he?
No, he did not.
And the stolen base certainly played a part in it. And your man Reyes, that you talk about being so disruptive, able to get on, get around, and score. David Wright's 0 for 2. Grounded out, lined out. Full foul. I would guess this would be kind of a vulnerable spot for Lowe after trying real hard to get the ground ball, to get the double play, and maybe get out of the inning. It doesn't work. But you got to regroup and realize there's a guy at second base in scoring position and a tough out at the plate.
Exactly. And then you do have a base open. You know, you don't have to come into his strength. And as he gets ahead 0-2, now you got a couple pitches to try and even go lower and lower or get him to reach a little farther off the plate. You know, Derek's in a position where he hasn't been in a while, where the order works in his favor as his team comes to bat. He can pitch deep into this game, but he's got to keep it right here at 3 runs. He's throwing the ball a lot better as the game goes on, and you know, want to stay in there as a pitcher.
Couldn't get him to chase that one and count 1-2. 10 home runs all last year for David Wright in their new ballpark. Everybody talking about how that took away a lot of his power. Already 8 homers this year. McCann has a get away from him. Bay tries to advance, and he will. Chipper had to knock that down. We'll wait to see how they score that after it got under the glove of Brian McCann.
Took a nasty bounce, a sinker that went the other way. They're going to rule it a wild pitch, and had he been able to deliver this in the air, he might have got him a third, but he's short up Chipper.
Breaking ball pulled foul. 2-2 still to count. A run in for the Mets. They get the run back that they gave up in the 5th inning and regain their 2-run lead. To third. Chipper stays down on it. He'll throw him out, and that'll do it for the Mets in the 6th. They get a run on one hit. They leave a runner at third. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order due up for the Braves. 3-1 New York.
Yes, I do enjoy watching the Braves play. I can't
The 6th inning at Turner Field. Let's take a look at tonight's leaderboard, brought to you by the Sunshine House, a tradition of excellence in early education. And tonight's subject, 2-hit games. And the National League leaders in multi-hit games, Marlon Byrd from Sprayberry High School here in Atlanta, out in Marietta, and Martine Prado tied with Ryan Heyward and Placido Polanco for 2nd in multi-hit games. Very impressive. Jeff Francoeur takes over in right field. He's no longer idle tonight. Braves down by 2, and Prado takes a strike. Martine, then Heyward, then Chipper.
You asked me a question earlier, and I did. The question was, do we talk about and break down opposing pitchers? We would. And we would look for anything that we could to give the hitter an advantage on our team, something that he was tipping, something that might help. And the only downside is as the angle in the dugout, you see things differently than you might as the hitter at the plate. And so you ask the hitter to look for what you see, and then he comes back and goes, yeah, I can see it, or no, I can't. And so we're sitting there, basically 120 games a year, trying to have fun, but not just necessarily not passing time by paying attention. We pay attention to the opposing pitchers because we feel like that could be something that can help your team win.
Sure, that's a great thought. Well, Pelfrey's trying to do something tonight that no Mets starter has done in the month of May, and that's win a game. That's right. None of their starters have won a game in May. Down the line, off the bag. That might roll all the way to the corner. Francoeur over to cut it off. But Martine Prado with that magic wand bounces one right off the first base bag. Braves are in business with a leadoff double.
When you're going good, sometimes you don't even mean to do some of these things, but a slider that didn't slide. And Martine hit it down the line and got himself just another hit.
The perfect night continues for him. 2 hits and a walk. And now he's tied with Marlon Byrd for the most multi-hit games with 17. His 11th double. That leads the team in that category. Heyward's 0 for 2. He struck out and hit into a double play with runners on the corners and 1 out in the 3rd inning. He'd like to get Martine in, but at the very least, he'd like to hit the ball on the ground to the right side and get him to 3rd. At the very least. Change up, hit to right, fairly deep. Martine's going to tag, and he's going to try it. Francoeur cuts the throw loose, but it's off the mark a little bit, and Martine makes it to 3rd. Good out for Heyward. And a runner at 3rd with 1 out for Chipper.
I always felt this was hard to do, not from experience, but watching guys come in to fill in a position, come out firing. I mean, you can't go in the tunnel and work on your arm as you're coming in as a right fielder in this case. So everyone knows that Jeff has a real good arm, and felt like it was hit deep enough that Martine could get to 3rd.
Yeah, but that's a very good point. I mean, you go out there and you play catch with a center fielder, but you're not playing catch for throws like he just had to make. So Chipper needs to get that runner in, make it a 1-run game again. Infield back. 0-1.
Chipper's really good at sitting at pitches, especially as we talked earlier in the year. He's got a mental book on all the pitchers and what they've done against him. And in these situations, he knows exactly, or he feels he knows exactly what Mike's going to do. And a ground ball to second base works. A ground ball to Francoeur works.
Yeah. That'll work. Deep center. Matthews has it. Prado will tag and score, and it's back to a 1-run deficit, 3-2. And for Chipper, his 9th, just his 9th RBI of the year. But Martine Prado, as you talked about at the beginning of the game, John, about how he has become an excellent table setter for everybody else because he's on base all the time. Does it again. Sharply hit, but right at Castillo, and that'll quickly end the inning. But the Braves get the run back, and they go to the 7th, down 3-2.
Where else could you hug a 7-foot-tall polar bear? Take home a free 8-ounce glass bottle of Coke. Experience a thrilling 4D theater and taste beverages from around the world. Visit the world of Coca-Cola today.
We go to the 7th. Mets up 3-2. Davis, Barajas, and Matthews due up against Derek Lowe, who was allowed only 3 hits, but he trails 3-2. 2 of those 3 hits were doubles in the 2nd inning. Turned into a couple of runs. Mike Davis scored a run in the 2nd after he was hit by a pitch. He's also hit into a double play. Lowe's longest outing of the year is 6 innings, and he's done that 3 times, including his last start at Milwaukee. And he's working into the 7th tonight. And falls behind 3-0.
And see, this is as a pitcher is where you got to change that comfort zone. You just got to change that mindset. I'm going to go 8 innings. I'm going until my at bat comes up. And starting out these 3 different innings, he has not been sharp to the leadoff hitter. He comes back, but then puts himself in a defensive count. So the bottom of the order is very important this inning to the success of whether or not Derek stays in the game long enough to get a win.
On the corner, 3-2. As the game wore on, would you limit the number of pitches you would throw between innings, though, to loosen up?
Not necessarily. Especially here, he doesn't have many pitches in the total of the game. I just wanted to be sharp that first hitter. I wanted to do whatever my warm-up pitches allowed me to be sharp on the first hitter.
And he lost him.
He loses him right here. But the first 3 pitches as he comes out and faces that hitter, he's nowhere near the strike zone.
Braves bullpen stirring.
So far, it's been every other inning. First inning gets the leadoff hitter. Second inning, he doesn't. Third inning, he's fine. Fourth inning, he doesn't. Fifth inning, he's fine. Sixth inning, he doesn't get the leadoff hitter. Now in the 7th, he doesn't.
Chance for a double play possibility here with the catcher running if he can get Barajas to hit the ball on the ground. He doubled in 2 runs in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. in 13 starts since Derek Lowe has gone 7 innings. A little looper out behind second. That's going to drop. Heyward's on it quickly, and he'll stop Davis at second, but the Mets are in business. They come right back. First and second, nobody out. Barajas with his second hit of the night.
It's a little bit unlucky right here off the end of the bat. Not really much you can do if you're in Derek's position, but one thing you can do is still work out of this jam because you've got the 8th hitter and then the pitcher. And so really what happens right here is you look at this pitch, a good sinker, almost off the ground. Like a golfer, he golfed it over the second baseman's head. I'm sure Roger's saying right here, you got the 8th hitter. If you get him out without the runners moving up, you still got the pitcher, and then, of course, you can work out of this jam. Highly unlikely he's going to bunt here, unless the Mets were prepared to pinch hit, but you see no action at least.
No, there's no one warming up in their bullpen. And again, Matthews has been struggling, and he's 0 for 2 tonight. Tapper in front of the plate and a called third strike. And he has no sacrifice bunts on the year, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't be bunting here. We'll see. As you said, highly unlikely to bunt runners up for the pitcher. He's swinging, and he hits one. Might be a tailor-made double play. Escobar to Gloss. 6-3 on the twin killing. Runner at third, 2 out. Just what Derek Lowe needed with the pitcher coming up.
Hopefully we can go back and say this pitch right here and this inning was the difference maker in Derek Lowe as he goes on to win a bunch of games for the Braves, because this is the kind of inning that gives a pitcher a confidence to say, you know, late in the game, 3-2 game, I can get out of this jam and put myself in a position to win, help the team win. Very important inning right here as he faces the pitcher.
And a chopper to Chipper. Should get out of it. Took him 2 pitches to get out of that first and second. Nobody out jam. A double play and a little bouncer to third. Still a 1-run game as we go to the 7th inning stretch. Good work by Lowe. Out of a big jam there. Time now for the no-out question of the game, built by the Home Depot. Comes from Brent, who wants to know, for you, John, how was your experience trying to qualify for the U.S. Open?
Well, it wasn't bad. I know it sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. I was trying to qualify, but I wasn't. I really wanted to see what my game matched up. As you've seen, I was in some places that I'm used to, you know, chipping out. Some of the balls didn't go in the hole like I would like. 39 putts. But it was a lot of fun. And a lot of people came out to watch me play. And the only putt I made, unfortunately, was on the 18th hole. And But the biggest thing for me was I wanted to see what it was like. You know, when you pitch in the mound, you're comfortable with all the situations, but when you play golf for the first time and stroke play matters, you want to see how your mind, your hands, your feet, how everything felt, and everything was fine except for my putter. It didn't go in. By the way, that putter's in the bottom of the lake.
Is it really?
Yeah.
A little souvenir.
Structure for the fish.
Yes, but you weren't angry.
No, it just didn't work.
Oh, I see.
And if it doesn't work, it needs to go somewhere where it's going to be appreciated.
Do they have gimmies?
No, that's the one thing I can tell you from now on. If I'm going to play in a lot more of these stroke play events, I need to start putting them all out, even though you make most of them.
Troy Gloss, Eric Hinsky, and Yunel Escobar due up here. Braves trailing by a run. Mike Pelfrey's allowed 5 hits. He has fanned Gloss twice. And now it's time to take a look at the Cartridge World scorecard, brought to you by Cartridge World. Why pay more to paint?
Mike Pelfrey's 3-0 at night with a 1.78 ERA, so he's living up to that tonight, pitching awfully well, trying to get his team off the skids of a losing streak.
He's pitched well tonight. 1-1 the count. I mentioned that their starters have not picked up a win in the month of May. They are combined 0-6 with an ERA of 6.98. Now their bullpen has the 3rd best ERA in the National League, which is quite a contrast from what we saw from the Diamondbacks who just left town.
But unfortunately, they do have 9 losses on the bullpen as well.
They do. 79 pitches for Pelfrey. A low number here in the 7th. Gloss just barely got a piece of it.
Historically, the Mets have always been pitching rich, but last year's 4.77 starters ERA was their highest since 1962. First year of the Mets. That's something the organization wants to not only not go back to, but change. Tomorrow's starter is a big part of that, as he's been brought over to do just that.
Santana, yeah, but be the highest in 62. Mercy. 2-2 now to Gloss. 2 for 10 in his career against Pelfrey. Mets with 2 in the 2nd. Braves got 1 in the 5th, and then each team got a run in the 6th. That's foul. It was played by Brian Snitker. Brian of the red zoot suit that was worn home from Milwaukee. Red with white pinstripes. So he was thinking about breaking it out again when the team has that off day down in Florida, the next road trip. The 2-2. Driven to center field. Matthews was playing deep, and he's right there to make the catch. Troy hit it on the button, but right at him. And Eric Hinsky comes to the plate. He has doubled, and he has hit this home run. It's an easy swing, too. He just kind of dropped the barrel down on that one.
See if they try to stay away from him and more hard stuff, as he's handled kind of big old bug, looks like Ed trying to snap out.
Bigfoot Rapuano. Down and away, ball 1. Hinsky 7 for his last 13. And 12 for 26 in the month of May. That's a .462 average. Double and a home run tonight. Driven to left field, base hit. Hinsky's 3 for 3. He's got a single, a double, and a homer. And all of them hit right on the barrel. Tying run aboard for Escobar.
Well, that plan didn't work. They tried to stay away and stay away hard, and he went with the pitch and hit it the other way. And if the Braves bat around and take the lead, he's a triple away. An outfielder falling down from the cycle.
Yeah, and against their shift, too. I mean, that was David Wright who was almost over in the shortstop position when he went the other way. Now, Escobar's got to be a little more patient than he's been since he came back Saturday. He's been going after a lot of pitches early in the count that weren't good pitches to hit. Lays off that one. There you go. He's grounded out twice tonight and has a hole to work with on the right side where they're holding Hinsky. Now had just begun to swing the bat like people are used to seeing him swing it when he got hurt and had to go on the disabled list. Short lead for Hinsky. 2-0 to Escobar. Nate Mclouth on deck. Still no activity in the Mets bullpen. The 2-0 pitch. Up the middle. But again, it's Reyes. Steps on the bag, throws him out. Double play. Third double play turned behind Pelfrey tonight. And we go to the 8th.
Episodes of Family Guy weeknights at 7 p.m. Followed by a full hour of House of Pain weeknights at 8 p.m. Right here on Peachtree TV.
Eric O'Flaherty on to pitch for Atlanta. Derek Lowe goes 7 innings for the first time since early September last year and pitched a good ball game. 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walked 3, struck out 3, hit a batter, and had a wild pitch.
He really did. When he was aggressive early in the count, he had good success. When he fell behind and had to bring that sinker back over the middle of the plate, he ran into a little bit of trouble. But that last inning, Joe, I really believe will be a tell sign for the rest of the season as he got out of a pretty big jam and gave the team a chance to win.
Yeah, it was outstanding. First and second, nobody out, and 2 pitches later, the inning was over. Reyes leading off for the 4th time tonight. but batting right-handed and chases that one 0-2. O'Flaherty 2-1, a 2.35 ERA. This is his 18th game. League only hitting 137 against him. Didn't chase that one, 1-2. Out of play. Reyes, Castillo, and Jason Bay here in the 8th. Reyes trailing by a run.
Peter Moylan warming up just in case. Probably for Jason Bay.
Yeah, be my guess. 2-2 the count. Philadelphia 7-2 over the Pirates, bottom of the 7th. Arizona still shutting out Florida 4-0. They're in the bottom of the 5th. Off the end of the bat, 2 hopper to Prado. 1 out. Luis Castillo's 0 for 2. He also has a sacrifice bunt. He'll switch around and bat right-handed.
I talked about earlier the Mets have struggled against right-handed pitching. Against left-handed pitching, they've hit 276, which is a little backwards the way I thought it would be. I thought their left-handers would. But you're seeing the struggles of the top 2 guys that are primarily going to hit left-handed, obviously against right-handers, and not getting on base, so it reflects in their average.
Castillo came into the game hitting 270 right-handed, 261 left-handed. Pretty close to the same numbers. But most people, I think, would tell you that he has more pop in his bat right-handed. .93 on that fastball from Eric. Out of play. Cardinals are on top of Washington tonight, 4-0. They're in the 3rd inning, but Tony La Russa did something tonight, John, that you didn't see happen last year when you were with the Cardinals, and it's the first time it's happened since May 30th of 2003. And that's that Albert Pujols moved out of the 3 spot in the order. He's batting cleanup tonight, and Matt Holliday's batting 3rd. Yes, he did. Ed Rapawano rings him up. First strikeout for O'Flaherty.
And they've been struggling, so he's trying his ways to get a lineup that will score a little bit more runs with their pitching staff. You know, they should be a little bit more out in front than they are. Currently half game out of first, but they've been struggling as Bobby comes out to do what we thought they would do and bring in Peter Moylan.
To pitch to Jason Bay and try to preserve what is right now a 1-run deficit. Good job by O'Flaherty. He got the 2 switch hitters. This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. We'll be right back.
Here, let the countdown begin. In 10 days, under the stars, join me at Piedmont Park for Peachtree TV's Screen on the Green. Starting next Thursday, May 27th at Piedmont Park, Peachtree TV will kick off this free summer event with National Treasure, starring Nicolas Cage. For all the movie listings and other information about Screen on the Green, just go to PeachtreeTV.com.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. Peter Moylan becomes the second pitcher of the inning for Bobby Cox. 2 out, nobody on. He'll face Jason Bay. And for Peter, as you see, his 18th appearance of the year, 1-0 at 2.57 ERA. Bay tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk against Derek Lowe. He's happy about Lowe not being in there. He's now 0 for 15 in his career against him. 0 for 3 in his career against Moylan. Big sweeping breaking ball for strike. Bottom half of the 8th for the Braves. Mclouth in the pitcher spot. And then Prado. Little soft line drive, might drop. It will, right in front of Nate. Bay has a base hit. And here's Jeff Francoeur. It's a nice hand from the locals. Jeff 0 for his last 18.
With the late kick of Peter Moylan, 63 stolen bases, as you said, out of Jason Bay, I'd look for him to try and steal a base to put Jeff in an RBI situation.
This is with a sinker, 1-0. Jeff had a good April. He's having a bad May, just 5 for his last 50. There goes Bay. Pitches a strike. The throw tails off into center field, but Mclouth is there to back up the play, and Bay will have to hold at second. That's a spot that Brian McCann has been missing to time and time again, John.
He has. I don't think he had a chance for him on here. The ball has definitely been coming out and tailing as Jason got a huge jump. You know, Peter's leg kick is vital for his success against right-handed hitters in the way that his ball sinks, but it does create a gap of time that allows the base stealer to get a good jump. That's one of the downsides of Peter's leg kick. But when he gets a little off kilter with his leg kick, it also translates into the effectiveness of his pitch. And you see again, this is a high leg kick. He's trying to make a quality pitch, of which an easy stolen base.
Well, and then because of that, it puts pressure on Brian to hurry his throw. That's part of why that one tailed off, rushing himself. Fly ball to left on a breaking ball. Should end the inning. Hinsky puts it away, and Moylan strands that runner at second. Braves come to bat, trailing by 1. We're in the 8th, 3-2 New York. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and perhaps a one-run ball game because of some good defense. Let's take a look at the Zaxby's indescribably good plays of the game. 3 double plays turned behind Mike Pelfrey tonight. Some good defense by the Mets infielders. Get ready for ice cold bliss with the new Zaxby's milkshakes. Well done by Reyes and Castillo. Nate Mclouth batting in the 8th spot will lead off in the 8th. Nice to have him there. He's lit off a couple of times tonight. He certainly knows how to get on base as Pelfrey misses with ball 1.
Big part of the game. Everybody knows what the 9th inning has to offer for the Mets. It's their closer, top closer, so you want to try to squeeze a run in, prevent him from getting into the ball game.
And of course, it's Frankie Rodriguez. 5 saves on the year, 1.93 ERA. 2-0 to Mclouth. Nate has a double and he's flied to left. Pop that one up. Should reach the seats, and it will. Pitcher spot due up next, and Melky Cabrera has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Matt Diaz, if you did not know, was placed on the disabled list Saturday. Brett Cleveland was called up from Gwinnett. Diaz will have surgery on his thumb this week to remove a foreign body out of his right thumb. 2-2. That's one of the best pitches Pelfrey's made all night right there.
Got the borderline call on the outside part of the plate. Now back to a pitcher's advantage on a 2-2 pitch.
Telegraphed that changeup again, though. It's not exactly the same description you used earlier, but I think Nate was able to pick it up.
Right, you've got the picture, though.
Yeah.
You got the whole thing.
Nate's going to need a new bat.
Did you like it better than the third dairy pitch? Secondary and third dairy?
Yes, no, I like those better. Full count. 95 on that fastball. He's still got something left in the tank. In the mid-90s in pitches. Down the line, that'll slice out a play. Nate having a chat with Ed Rapuano. Another 3-2. Line to left field, base hit. Bay over to cut it off. Nate with a big turn. He'll hold there, representing the tying run with a leadoff single and a great at bat.
Very encouraging sign as he goes the other way with a fastball. It gets extended. Outfield's playing real deep, trying to prevent him against doubles. Pitching coach is going to try to tell him he's still in control of the game. Get this hitter out. More than likely, he may be bunting.
They've got a left-hander warming up in their bullpen, Pedro Feliciano. But with Cabrera being a switch hitter, that wouldn't accomplish much. And then you've got Prado on deck after him, so he may be getting loose in case Heyward makes it to the plate this inning. So let's see how Bobby plays it with Cabrera up there. Melky has 3 sacrifice bunts already on the year. He is bunting and drops it off the plate. Pelfrey's only play to first. Well done. Tying run in scoring position for one of the hottest hitters on the planet, Ian Erakinski. And that's Martine Prado, who has a perfect night going. A single, a double, a walk, and a run scored. Prado singled up the middle leading off the ball game, walked in the third, and doubled over the first base bag in the sixth. Takes one low, ball one.
Made a new rule this year, as you've seen him go to his mouth on the mound. They can go to your mouth on the dirt this year without having to step off the mound and do all the things us pitchers have to do to create or get rid of sweat, one or the other.
Telegraphed that off-speed pitch, but it drops in for a strike, and Barajas immediately to the mound. You do have to wipe, though.
Yeah.
As soon as you go to the mound.
Yep.
Martine Prado, boy, he has done a great job of scattering his hits. 19 hits to left, 19 to right, and 12 to center. Tough to pitch to a guy when he's spraying it around.
Yes, it is.
The 1-1. In the dirt, bounces away. Mclouth on his way to third. He'll make it. Big break there.
This is part of the little things that the Braves weren't doing when they were struggling. And what I mean by that is great jump when the ball was in the dirt. Didn't go very far from him, but alert base running gets you to third, puts you in position to tie this game up. These are the kind of things when you don't hit a lot of home runs, steal a lot of bases, you've got to make sure your secondary leads are good. You've got to make sure you get the best jumps you can and always anticipate that play.
Infield in to try to cut off the tying run. And Martine sends a fly ball down the right field line. That'll be in the seats and out of the reach of Jeff Francoeur. And the count 2-2. Prado had the game winner here Friday night. That single to right that plated a couple of runs. Belfry about to make pitch number 103. The 2-2. To Reyes. Mclouth to the plate. They've got him hung up. He's got to stay in the rundown long enough to get Prado into scoring position. And he did. Tagged out in the chops. For payment. Took him a while to get him, but the tag was right in the face.
Well, he did a nice job staying in the rundown, at least get Prado into scoring position. But as you said, Joe, sometimes as you're making the tag, it got it right in the face.
Not anything intentional there on the part of Reyes to try to hurt him, but unfortunate. But Nate did what he was supposed to do after going on contact and realizing he was going to be a dead duck at the plate. He stayed in the rundown long enough to get Prado to second. Jerry Manuel, meanwhile, is at the mound with Heyward coming to the plate. And we're waiting on Pedro Feliciano, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Feliciano on to pitch to Heyward. We'll be back to see what happens right after this.
game. Now, quick question for you. Do you need a break? Well, we've got your chance to really take some time off. Just watch The Office all this week starting at 6 and look for the key word of the day. Now, you could be on your way to an all-inclusive Club Grand Bahama trip to the Bahamas. For more information, just go to PeachTreeTV.com/contest. All this week on The Office, only on Peachtree TV.
Thank you, JJ. Pedro Feliciano on for the Mets, one of the toughest left-handed pitchers against left-handed hitters in the National League. Lefties are only 5 for 29 against him. He's inherited 8 runners this year, and he has stranded 7. And that's the tying run at second in Prado and Jason Heyward at the plate. Jason's 0 for 3. Sidearm delivery. Not an unusual first pitch from him to set up what he likes to do best, and that's throw a sidearm sweeping breaking ball and have lefties chase it. Jason will take that pitch to left field, though, and there's big holes on the left side. No. Strike call. Reyes cheated way up the middle to try to hold the runner tight. And David Wright well off the line. Two out. 2-1.
Good job so far, because that's a tough. You're looking for, as you said, Joe, the sweeper, and he's thrown a couple good hard fastballs already. And the tendency as a left-handed hitter is to lean out over the plate to look for that, and he's done a nice job keeping him honest. See if he throws him a 2-1 sweeper right here, and see if Jason can stay on it.
Stayed in. 2-2. That had some action on it. Moving down and in. Feliciano wants another set of signs. Broken back grounder, backhanded by Wright. Wide throw at the bag. Everybody's safe, first and third. There's where that defensive alignment came into play, and it'll be an infield hit. Wright did a good job just to get to that ball.
Yeah, almost a great play. Broke his bat, got a late jump out of the box, a little off balance. Probably if he tried to one-hop it, he'd been better served, but almost a great play, but kept the Braves from scoring. As now Chipper's coming up. It'll be interesting to see what strategy they employ. Do they want to bat right-handed or left-handed?
Well, and on top of that, if for some reason they don't give Chipper much to hit, thinking they'd rather have Feliciano pitch to McCann, that means the bases would be loaded. You've got the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position.
He's 5 for 14 off of Feliciano with a home run, Chipper is.
Take a base hit single right here.
Come on, Chip!
Plate. Chipper tonight. Fly to right. He's also walked and delivered a sacrifice fly. That was back in the 6th inning. 0 for 1.
One,
2-0. This is the team that he's always beat up on. 42 career homers against these guys. Outfield shading him a little toward right. 3-0. Feliciano thought that was a strike.
All right, Joe, green light or not?
You bet. Chipper's got a good enough eye, and he's patient enough that he'll be looking for it in a real small little keyhole zone. But nothing to swing at. It wasn't intentional, but they weren't going to give him anything to hit, and they'll take their chances with Brian McCann. Bases loaded. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. Brian McCann has told me more than once that he has a hard time picking the ball up from Feliciano.
For the Braves, you got two guys warming up. One guy's hoping to get in to save the game. If a hit happens here, he more than likely, obviously that's going to happen once they throw the hitter out. And I always felt that this is where the adrenaline gets pumping. You got Wagner warming up as well as Saito warming up. And with 2 outs, the runners are going to get a running start, so any hit should score.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on the defense here. Brian 6 for 21 in his career against Feliciano. That's not too bad. As good as this guy is against lefties. But it's Feliciano who's got to throw a strike, and Brian's got to keep that in mind. Mets have lost 5 in a row and 7 of 8. In there for a strike to get ahead. That's foul, and Brian's in the hole 0-2. Now, if you're Martine Prado at third base, you got to be alert in case Feliciano wastes a pitch here and throws one in the dirt. Might have a chance to score if he tries to waste one.
He can get a really big lead because David Wright is way off the bag, so there's no threat of anything, any throw back to the bag.
0-2. Curve inside, and again Feliciano bends over at the waist. Didn't get the call.
Ryan almost looked like he could have taken that off the shoulder. I think he might have got the shirt, but no.
Well, he's sticking his arm out there. 1-2 the count. 2-2. Good reactions by Barajas there to haul that one in.
The way he's pitched, Brian, this should be a sweeper, but he has not been typical with any, so far, lefty on lefty matchup.
No grand slams allowed by Feliciano in his career. Game on the line, bottom of the 8th. Mike Pelfrey trying to become the first Mets starter to get a win. Struck him out. Ran the fastball in on him, and Brian couldn't get the barrel to it. Feliciano leaves them loaded. And we go to the 9th, still 3-2 New York. Turner Field. Crowd of 21,086 on hand tonight for the first game of this brief 2-game meeting between the Mets and Braves. Takashi Saito comes on for Atlanta in the 9th inning. Makes his 16th appearance. An 0-1 record, a 2.40 ERA. Is not allowed a run in his last 4 outings. Had 1 outing against Arizona. Worked an inning. Walked 2, struck out 2. And he'll face David Wright, Ike Davis, and Rod Barajas. Needing to hold the Mets right there. Braves loaded him up there with 2 out in the 8th and couldn't score. Saito gets ahead of Wright. David's 0 for 3. And 9 for his last 38. Oh, and 2.
Saito has that slight hesitation where when he stays square to the plate, his fastball again only 91, but the hitter sees it as 95 sometimes because it gets up on him pretty quick, and then he throws a real good slider.
That he's able to lay off of there. 1 and 2.
The success of the Braves, and I know again we talked about they haven't had many save opportunities to go 8, 9. It's like clockwork. Bobby likes to have the same guys pitching and winning formulas. It seems like it's either been a blowout or they've been on the opposite end of some tough losses.
Two and 2. In the Braves half of the 9th inning. Gloss, Hinsky, and Escobar due up. And the closer for the Mets, Francisco Rodriguez, also known as K-Rod, getting ready. Fought off a tough pitch there.
A lot of moving parts, but he wants to strike you out. He wants to embarrass you.
He does, and he wants to make it look like he's throwing 109 miles an hour too. But need to hold him right here. Struck him out. Right down on strikes, and Ike Davis the batter. He's been hit by a pitch. He's walked. He's hit into a double play.
Mets coming into this game had their struggles in 2 or less runs. They're 7 and 13, and 1-run games they're 4 and 9.
Well, during this stretch where they've lost 7 out of 8, 3 have been by 1 run, and 3 have been by 2 runs.
But a statistic going for them is after 8 innings, leading, they're 16 and 0.
That's impressive. That strikeout by Wright keeps a streak going for him. He has struck out at least once in each of the last 14 games.
Which was interesting about that 21-inning game. Rodriguez blew the save, but then tonight's pitcher came back and got the save.
2-0 to Ike Davis. Former All-American and first-round draft choice out of Arizona State. Son of former Major League pitcher Ron Davis. Popped up, but should reach the seats and will behind the Mets dugout. Two and 1 the count. Barajas, who has the big hit of the night for the Mets, is on deck. He had a 2-run double in the 2nd inning. 2-2. 94 on that pitch from Saito. They're in the ninth at Philadelphia. Phillies beating the Pirates 12-2. Boy, how many games have the Pirates given up double digits?
It's amazing, and yet they're in third place.
Yeah.
I mean, they have had a series of for the ages against Milwaukee.
Yeah. Arizona still shutting out Florida 4-0. They're in the bottom of the seventh. Got him. Good fastball running away from him. Back-to-back strikeout swinging for Saito. And Rod Barajas, the batter, he's 2 for 3. That 2-run double in the second. He is struck out and singled. And if you weren't with us, here was that big hit. Split the outfielders. Drove in Chris Carter and Ike Davis, who had been hit by a pitch. Big cut, but he comes up empty. He's throwing hard tonight, John.
Yeah, he's got a really good fastball. This fastball is not going to move much. It's one of a four-seam power fastball, but it's staying on the outside corner and just right out of the reach of the hitters. Got a good angle working right now in arm action, staying behind it.
Some more cheese on the outside corner.
Nothing better when you're pitching to feel like you could almost say, okay, fastball, here it comes. And there's nights where you have it. You just hope not to waste it. And he's been effective on that outside part of the plate. He can do whatever he wants right here, 1-2. He could throw a slider right where his fastball ended up, or he can go right back to the fastball. Say, go ahead. I mean, no one's even put it in play. They're not even fouling.
No.
Too much.
Wright down on strike swinging. Davis down on strike swinging. 1-2 to Barajas. Struck out the side. All swinging. Saito makes it a one-run ball game going to the bottom of the ninth.
AT&T. Rethink possible.
Former President and Mrs. Jimmy Carter here at the game tonight. It's been a good one, but the Mets lead it 3-2. And Francisco Rodriguez, 28 years old, 6 feet, 195 pounds, on to try to close the deal for the Mets and snap their 5-game losing streak. A 169 average against him. 2 years ago for the Angels, 62 saves, which set a major league record. At 35 last year for the Mets. 117 of his last 118 saves have been 1 inning or less. The only blip on that was in April this year, an inning and 2/3 saves against the Cubs. Gloss, Hinsky, and Escobar. The Braves down by a run. First pitch swinging, fly ball to right, but right at Francoeur. Rodriguez saved a couple of games in that 3-game sweep up in New York when they played Atlanta. But one of them was kind of ugly. Gave up a hit and a walk, but was able to strike out Mclouth and Prado to end the ball game. Eric Hinsky, another perfect night. As you see, a double, a home run, and a single. 1 for 6 in his career against K-Rod. Outfield deep, shading him a little to pull. Takes a curve for a strike.
He has given up a couple home runs to left-handers, if you're wondering if it's capable. He has 3 solid pitches that the hitter's trying to guess. And you look at all that movement, that's what makes him doubly tough. And the hitter sees all his arms and legs and hands coming right at you.
Fastball at 91. The pitch to Gloss that he flied out on was 92. The 1-1 pitch. On the ground up the middle, backhanded by Castillo. Throws him out. Good play, 2 down. Rodriguez 9 walks in 19 innings and 21 strikeouts. And the Braves down to their last hope, and that's Yunel Escobar, who's had some good luck against him. 3 for 5. Mets trying to make it 4-0 against Atlanta. This is low. Atlanta just 3-9 against the National League East. They'd fall to 3-10 barring a comeback. Down the right field line, but slicing foul and into the seats. He had a good cut. If Yunel's been saving his first home run for a good time in 2010, this would be a good place for it. Braves about hit him 8-5, but the Mets lead it 3-2. Big breaking ball, but it missed. 2-1.
So good patience there. That's a tough pitch to lay off. It looks like it's going to be a strike the whole way and dives out of the zone.
3-1. As a Met, Rodriguez not all that comfortable in one-run safe situations. He's just 11 for 17. But he's got 2 out. Despite being behind in the count here, 3-1. He walked him. He has had trouble pitching to Escobar in the past. He has trouble here. He walks the potential tying run. And Nate Mclouth will be the batter. Mclouth 0 for 3 in his career against him.
I know it's not going to happen here, but I'm surprised more people haven't tried to bunt on him as far as he falls off the mound to first base. You only have to put it on the left side of the mound as you're doing from home plate to the catcher. And with that high leg kick, more people stealing him.
He falls completely off the dirt portion of the mound there by the time he's finished. 1-0 to Nate, who has 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3, including a double. After a long, hard fight, Nate is back to the Mendoza line. He's hitting 200 on the nose. Nate's had some big hits lately for Atlanta. That was nowhere near. They were set up away. Hit a little off the breaking ball and fell all over the place.
And he went with a slide step, which looked uncomfortable.
It did look uncomfortable. Almost like he stumbled a little bit. 2-0 the count. Good hitters count. See if Nate can get something down and in his favorite spot. Runner goes. Breaking ball's a strike. The throw down. He's safe. Escobar took advantage of what you were just talking about, John. And he's got his 3rd stolen base, tying run in scoring position.
I felt he got a late jump, but it was such a slow breaker that it made up for it. You got to make sure you're going to make it in that situation. He got just a little bit of a late jump, but because there's so much movement, even his slide step isn't as quick as most people's slide steps.
Well, let's hope that after swiping the bag that Unell is okay. Given his leg problems that put him on the disabled list. 2-1 to Mclouth. And there's a curveball that finally finds the mark. 2-2. First one he's thrown for a strike.
Be a little more defensive with your approach if you're Nate, trying to find any way you can get outfield grass on this ball. Test the arms of the outfielders. They're playing a little bit deep. Obviously, Jeff has the best of the trio.
And he's fairly straight away in right. I mean, he's not really playing as deep as Matthews and Bay is, respectively. Need Nate to find a hole somewhere. Here's the 2-2. Struck him out. Game over. Went upstairs with a fastball and struck him out, and the Mets have snapped their 5-game losing streak. They improved to 4-0 on the